Hey guys, this is Todd Luck, and I wanted to show you guys this portfolio I got off of Kickstarter. This is the Edgar Rice Burroughs Visions of Adventure portfolio by Mark Wheatley. This was a Kickstarter exclusive, but some of these pieces may end up being available in other ways at some point, or at least I hope so. They're beautiful, and Mark Wheatley has done a lot of different work in a lot of different places, and I learned a lot about, his career and the stuff he's done with Burroughs properties. And I learned about Burroughs properties I didn't even know about, and even a TV pitch I'd never heard of. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, show you what it looked like. And so this is the portfolio that the pieces come in. This thing is huge, as you can see, and it's a wraparound, just this absolutely beautiful image of Edgar Rice Burroughs in the woods, and it has this quote: "If I had followed my better judgment always, my life would have been a very dull one." It is just really, really beautiful stuff. And when you open it up, you've got the flap to hold the pieces, and it's numbered on the inside. There were only 500 copies, and it's signed by the artist. It came shrink wrapped with this back piece. This is just paper, and it shows you some of the stuff that's on the inside, which is quite nice. It also came with pieces that you can create a diorama of his John Carter painting out of, and here's the back of it. And then you're supposed to cut this stuff out with like an X-Acto knife or a box cutter or something. And I'll just be brutally honest with you guys. My skills with a box cutter are not that great, and so this moon would not be round by the time I got done. So I'm just going to leave this as it is. I wish it was something that you could punch out, perforate it or something, but I'm still happy it's thrown in here. It was one of those add-ons, and I understand, that, putting out something like this is expensive, and perforated stuff would have been probably a little much. So let's take a look at the pieces in the portfolio. They're all this size, and they're all signed at the bottom by the artist. And this is an absolutely beautiful picture of Tarzan and Sheeta the Panther, just wonderful. This is from The Mucker, which is it's kind of a almost a crime noir sort of character. He's kind of an anti-hero, kind of this rough, sort of character who would normally be a villain, but is the hero of those novels. And this is actually from a novel called Swords Against the Moon Men. This is actually one of the more recent novels, and a new character that was introduced in that, and it's quite beautiful, quite enchanting picture there. Oh, and this is just gorgeous. This is the Oakdale Affair. This was a mystery novel that Burroughs wrote that I never heard about, and I am so intrigued after seeing this piece. It's just absolutely amazing looking. And there you go. There is the John Carter piece that you could make that diorama of. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the way he renders all the characters. It just looks really, really wonderful. I wish he would do some work for Dynamite, because the comics could use some of this, And here is a cover he actually did for a Tarzan novel. And so this is Tarzan and the Dark Heart of Time, and if you get the novel, that's the cover that's on it. Here is another piece from Swords Against the Moon Men. At first I thought this might be Curse of Venus, but actually it's from the Moon novel there. And then this is from the Earth's Core. This is some folks writing some dinosaurs, which is pretty cool. This is from Beyond 30, or that novel can also be called The Lost Continent. And it's a post-apocalyptic tale where civilization has fallen, and of course everything is reverted to like a jungle type of environment. So even in a post-apocalyptic world, Burroughs is still writing jungle adventures. And this is Ruined Chicago. This is also from Swords Against the Moon Men, and it is an utterly beautiful, haunting piece. Here's one of the Gridley Wave, and that's a nice piece. Here's one of Elmo Lincoln, who was the actual original screen Tarzan. He starred in the 1918 Tarzan of the Apes silent film, which I recently did a review of. Really cool piece. And so the next couple pieces were a bit of a surprise to me. This is actually from a pitch to do a series based on Edgar Rice Burroughs' Moon Trilogy. So in the Moon Trilogy, there is a world inside of the moon, and the aliens there come down to Earth and conquer it. And so that was going to be the premise of a TV show. This is the part where they're fighting the aliens in the novel The Red Hawk, and that was the final novel in that trilogy. And then here would have been The Moon Maid, which is how it starts out, with an adventure to the inside of the moon, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I could see this actually working as a TV series. Obviously, the world inside of the moon would be pretty high budget. However, you know, once you get down to Earth and you start fighting on Earth, that becomes a little bit more doable on a TV budget. And I always really found it intriguing because the world kind of reverted back to, you know, kind of frontier technology and stuff. So it was just a very different sort of fight. You know, you're on horseback and stuff like that, fighting against aliens. And then appropriately, the last piece is Edgar Rice Burroughs looking at his most famous creation, Tarzan. This is a really interesting piece because this is the way Mark Wheatley paints with Burroughs, and this is the way he draws with Tarzan. So it's kind of a cool combination of both of Wheatley's art styles. And this last thing you get is basically annotations letting you know where these pieces were originally published, if they've been published before. And most notably, you know, if you pick up Swords Against the Moon Men, you can get the moon pieces that he did, or some of them at least. And then the Oakdale Affair was published in printing of that book called Bridge and the Oskaloosa Kid, which came out in 2019, so I might have to look that up. And of course, Tarzan and the Dark Heart of Time, you can just pick that novel up for the cover. And so it also has a bio of Mark Wheatley, and so it says that he has created featured art for The Millers, Two Broke Girls, Super Clyde for CBS, and Beauty and Beast, and Super Roots for ABC. He created set pieces for the Black Eyed Peas and designed for Lady Gaga. His recent print projects include Songs of Giants, Dr. Cthulhu, and Tarzan and the Dark Heart of Time. Past creations include Breathtaker, Frankenstein Mobster, Mars, Easy Street, and many others. And I would add, those are comic books it's mentioning. So Frankenstein Mobster is his most recent. Mars was by First Comics back in the 90s, and I highly, highly recommend that. Black Hood he did in the 90s as a writer, and that was very, very good, from Impact Comics, DC Comics. And it says he's an Overstreet Hall of Fame inductee, and some other stuff. But Mark Wheatley's a really tremendously talented guy. I definitely recommend checking out his work. Like I said, pick up Mars, pick up Black Hood, pick up Radical Dreamer is one that's not mentioned on here, but absolutely should be. Pick up Radical Dreamer, and of course Frankenstein Mobster. So anyway, I thought you guys might enjoy taking a look at that and just seeing all the different visions of adventure that Mark Wheatley put in the portfolio. All right, like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, see ya.